So we all know that when you're getting into business and starting things up, everybody says that it's really high risk. And I gotta say, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there actually is risk when you're getting into business, but there is a way to kind of have this risk work into your favor, because getting into business, all this stuff, all this risk, at the end of the day, it's kind of like gambling in a sense, but it's like a rigged casino in a way. There's a way to be able to kind of guarantee your success by increasing your odds, whereas in a casino, you got kind of like the house rules, and the house always wins. They always have like a competitive edge. You may win money today, but over the long run, they end up making money. And there's a way to make it all into your favor. So instead of in the end, the house wins, in the end, you're winning and you're able to build an empire or a super huge multi-million-dollar company, or even if you're just trying to make $10,000 a month, there's a way to guarantee that success. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Devin Knupp here, and I've just been kind of pondering this idea today, and I had a little bit of extra time today, so I'm going to try to make a pretty decent quality video for you guys. And so with this, like I was saying, there's a way to guarantee your success with getting into business, and it's all like a big lottery system in a way. Like, we know that when you start out, like if you look at the lottery, you have a certain odds or a certain chance of being able to win, and it's like 1 in 1 trillion, whatever the number is. We're going to be talking super arbitrary in here, but there is a way to trade your time or your money or both to be able to increase your odds. We have time or we have money. So these are kind of like the two things. One, you can never get back, and it's a resource that we all have a limited amount of, and that is time. But when you're getting started, time is kind of one of those things where it's like really all you have for a lot of people, unless you've been saving up money, you've been working a job, but even then you're trading time for money. So at some point in the day, getting started, you're going to have to trade your time for money, and we want to kind of remove that as much as possible. But so let's say here, like this is the result down here that we're trying to achieve, and this is what we're winning. We're trying to get this result, this success. And which at the end of the day, obviously the result just kind of goes full circle and generates us more money. And then we basically just keep reinvesting that money, removing our time more and more, so that way we don't have to invest our time and we're able to do more things with our life, whatever those goals may be. If you're trying to build a business, and just have like this huge multi-billion-dollar business, yeah, you can just keep trading in your time, trading in your money to have as an extra resource. But this is kind of where we all start. We have either time or money. And this is going to be all arbitrary numbers, but let's say that every single 1 hour worth of your time is worth about, let's say, 0.1% chance. This is kind of like you buying lottery tickets in a sense. Every hour that you put in, let's say it gives you like a 1% chance of winning. And let's say that this is kind of like a month-to-month situation. So it's 1% is 1 month. Like every single month you have this 1% chance of winning. Obviously it depends on what you're doing. So if you're sending out marketing and having all this marketing being put out there, and it's something that stays out there, let's say it's kind of something like organic, like running different running different YouTube videos, posting on social media, all this kind of marketing that stays out there, or just like talking on the phone with clients or sellers or customers, getting them on the phone. And the more people that you talk to, you kind of build up this database of leads, or this pipeline of potential money that's going to be closing in the future. So this could be an email, this could be a phone number, this could be an address, this could be just this is data right here, basically, that we're building up. Every hour that you spend building up data, let's say it gives you like a 1% chance. Now, on the flip side, if we invest the money side of things, then let's say that about every $100 that you invest is, let's say, like a 1% chance. And I would say at the beginning, this is more accurate, more pertinent to a lot of you watching this. As you start growing more and more, you develop more skills, you're able to bring in more money. I think your time piece this percentage starts to go up as time goes on. So with this, let me add in this 1% real quick. So as your skills start to go up, this percentage goes up, because I would say like this is a pretty fair assessment. Every 1 hour's worth of time, I would say to the average person getting started is worth about $10. And as you just keep investing this time, you'll start to be able to build up whatever this percentage is. Obviously, you're not seeing a return at the beginning, and that's kind of like the scary part, the risk factor for a lot of people trying to get into business. You got this little bit of a risk because you're putting in this time, you're putting in this money, and you don't see the result. But what you're doing is you're increasing your odds of winning this game. So after, let's say that you put in about 100 hours worth of time, that's all you have. You don't have any money whatsoever getting started. After putting in about 100 hours, you've given yourself, like, let's say like a 10% odds of winning. And so you see, there is a little bit of luck involved in this game, but there's a way to have kind of luck in your favor. With the 10% odds of winning, and that's kind of like every single month, eventually, if you just keep kind of putting in that time, you're going to keep increasing this percentage. But there is a chance, like we kind of see, there's a few people that get extremely lucky. They put in this percentage, and then they get results because they just kind of won the lottery, basically. But a lot of those people that get results very early, that get kind of lucky, time will kind of show what type of person they are, how much they're really willing to invest into the business. Like whether they're just putting all the profits back into the business to increase revenue, to be able to make more money. Are they investing a lot of time in order to be able to make more revenue? Or are they one of those people that they just get lucky and think that it's that easy every single time, so then they don't reinvest these resources? But some people, they get super unlucky, and if they keep putting in this hour's worth of time, they just maybe it takes them like 5-6 months to get a result instead of like 2 weeks or a month, where it seems like everybody is getting results in a couple weeks or a month. But the reality is the average person, like with these odds that you're putting in, over time it usually seems to you start to get results. Like after about 6 months, if you haven't gotten results, I would really assess how many hours in the day, like how much actual work that you're putting in. And mind you, when I'm saying 1 hour, I'm saying like 1 hour of like concentrated, really really efficient with your time, and a lot of productivity goes inside there, or at least as much productivity as possible. The average person, I would say like 4 hours worth of work is what I would consider for myself probably like 30 minutes worth of work. And it's just all about the level that you're at and what your work ethic is like and kind of what your skills are. So with this, you just got to keep putting in the hours, and as long as you just keep doing something just to be able to move this needle forward, the more that you start to try to move it forward, the more kind of like momentum that you build. And so with this, as you start to notice, if you're getting 10% odds of being able to increase your business, or be able to kind of generate this cash cow or this cash flow into your business, you're going to start getting this momentum as time goes on. So as you start putting in the time and investments, it kind of seems like you're barely just moving upwards. It just seems so slow. And then just out of nowhere, it seems for a lot of people, after they just keep putting in this time and then reinvesting everything that they make, everybody eventually starts to hit this kind of like breakthrough point that gets them off to the next level, where they're able to make a lot more money with the small amount of time that they have to invest into the business. And so as time goes on, it kind of looks like this x-axis has like kind of like a time factor, and you have to invest less and less time to be able to get the same amount of results. And so you see this apparent with a lot of different companies. For example, Jeff Bezos, for the longest time, his company was negative. He just kept reinvesting literally everything, all the time, all the money. And as he was starting to reinvest more and more and more back into trying to create the best product out there, being able to offer faster shipping times than everybody, being able to offer the lowest prices with everything that they do. And on paper, this company looked like it was doing a terrible job. Like to any sort of accountant looking at these sheets on this business, for the average accountant, they would be looking at this and being like, this business makes literally no sense, because it was for like 10 years that he wasn't able to turn a profit. But then all of a sudden, He's one of the richest men in the world because he just kept reinvesting, just basically lived and breathed his business, reinvested literally everything, put all the time into building up this system that was able to just get to the point where like an hour's worth of minutes, where just an hour's worth of his time is worth so much because of the decisions and the point that he's gotten himself to. So what can we all learn from this kind of conversation that we're having right here? You got to invest time and money to be able to kind of get into this gambling, into this lottery, into being able to win the result. And as you start to invest more and more time, that is where the risk factor goes. Because you see a lot of people, they put in tons and tons of hours and they don't get any results. But I don't think a lot of people understand, if they just kept digging a little bit further, kept pushing a little bit forward more and becoming the expert at what they do, they could have been able to get more success than their wildest dreams. And so you just got to keep going. And what the biggest part of all of this is the persistence. That is the most important point about business, is just keep persistently doing things. Keep persistently putting in the time. Any sort of side income or any little bit of extra money or extra profit that you have, reinvest it back into the business until you get to the point where you feel like you can start to cash out a little bit and start to upgrade your lifestyle. Put your lifestyle last and put your business and being able to make more money first. Just keep reinvesting into here. It's okay if you're just not seeing any return, even if it's for like 6 months. Just put your head down and keep working. And over time, you'll start to see a massive amount of success. That's where you kind of like see that overnight success. That's where you see people just all of a sudden just completely glow up, get this completely different lifestyle because they just kept putting in the work, reinvesting the time, reinvesting the energy to be able to grow this revenue making machine. Because at the end of the day, what we're trying to do, if you're trying to do wholesaling, if you're trying to do drop shipping, social media marketing, whatever business model it is, that's kind of like a big beginner business model. We're trying to build up that cash flow. These business models are good for beginners because they don't require a lot of upfront costs, a lot of hard costs, a lot of upfront expenses. And so with not having all these expenses, we're trying to build up a cash cow, being able to bring in consistent revenue so then we can do whatever we want with it, whether it be buy real estate or be able to build different business models that require a large investment. And building up all these kind of income streams that's able to fund whatever you're trying to do in the future, that is the main priority. So just keep reinvesting your time, and as you start to make more money, reinvest that money until it starts to be able to get to a point where you can start pulling a little bit of the profits out, which still at the end of the day, I wouldn't pull out more than like 10-15% out of what you make. So that way you can just keep growing that, build up a little bit of a savings, and start to invest into whatever that future is that it looks like for yourself. And this is where you get into the point of building a 6-figure, a 7-figure, an 8, 9, 10-figure business. You just keep reinvesting that time, money, and eventually you'll be able to build up that revenue and be able to make more profits. So anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, join the fam, join the gang by hitting the subscribe button down below. Also, I hate kind of doing that. It's not really like a vanity number or anything like that to me. It's actually helps out my channel, so that way I get more views, and with more views I make more money off the channel. I'm able to reach more people and help more people out. There's a large variety of reasons, but if you guys could hit the subscribe button down below and smash a like for the algorithm's sake, so that way more people can watch this video and learn from it. So anyways, that's what I got. See you guys all tomorrow. Peace.